You know, just when you hear the word wife and you know that he's talking about you, do you like that? Do you go, yeah.
It feels great, but I can say to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife.
Welcome
to the J&O Show.
We talk about
things that we would never told them, Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Explosions all over the place.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sugar night.
I hope y'all ready for this.
You ready? You ready? You ready?
Yes.
This actually is coming from MTR. Shout out to him. This video is entitled, Oprah Regrets Not Getting Married. Women Hitting the Wall and Crying.
So ruthless.
I never married. I chose not to marry. But I always love it sometimes when guys will say, you know, that's my wife, or my wife called, or I got to get this for my wife. You know, just when you hear the word wife and you know that he's talking about you, do you like that? Do you go, yeah.
It feels great, but I can say to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife. And
Beyonce, your pandering game is on a whole nother level. But real quick, before we unpack what Beyonce just said at the end right there, do understand this, especially for you young cats out there who may not have the context, but Oprah and her impact back in the 80s and 90s for the growth and the spread of feminism was far beyond what Andrew Tate was able to accomplish in the past 6 months. She was the representation of, I don't need no man, I don't need no ring, forever dog mom, fighting the patriarchy, at the helm of works such as The Color Purple that did irreparable damage to black male image, and at the helm of Western culture through these ideals of empowerment fed to you every single day in every single American household via syndicated TV. Her cultural impact has not been dissected enough, but there's a little bit of Oprah in every modern day feminist today. But anyway, modern women will eat up exactly what Beyonce is saying, because having your own life is without any context here whatsoever. Word to the wise, mottos or quick sayings do not make great life advice, because people will affix this short saying.
No, pause right there. I almost wanted to shout. Listen, that is so true. People get sound bites and they want to live their life by it. Push pause. Rewind. Like, you need to get more context.
Yep.
I never thought about what he said about Oprah, though. That was actually, and I love me some Oprah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know a lot of women do.
Wow. That's, that I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Getting back to what Beyonce said, which I love me some B too. Hey, girl. What I was going to say is that people in positions like a Beyonce and Oprah, I think it's so much more important for them to not have sound bites.
Yep.
They need to explain what they mean. Beyonce, she's smart. Everybody knows she's a smart businesswoman. I think she's very intelligent. And I don't know if this is her thought process, but I would think and believe that when she is talking about you should have your own life before you become someone's wife, I believe that she means it in the context that you should be basically a whole person before you go and marry someone else. Like, you need to understand what makes you happy, what are the things that you enjoy, because again, you should not be looking to your partner to make you happy. That is something that you need to know how to be able to do all by yourself, okay, before you say I do. So I
and just a soundbite. By happy, we're talking about contentment. We're not talking about the emotional high of being, excited and happy. We're talking about contentment, and I just want to make that clear. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, and thank you for saying that, because I think that needs to be said as well. I feel like oftentimes when people are saying the word happy, I'm not sure if they mean contentment or happy. I'm not sure if they do, but I feel like more people are speaking specifically about the feeling, about being actually happy and not about contentment.
I agree.
Thank you for clarifying that. I was was utilizing the word happy because that is typically what I hear, and that should not be the goal. The goal should be contentment. What makes you content in life? Because once again, happiness is a feeling. Feelings don't last. Okay, that's life, because life is like
a box of chocolates.
like Forrest Gump said, you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
So you're not always going to be happy. So you should strive to be content, because once you're content, you can live a fulfilled life. And I think contentment, let's change the word from what Beyonce said. Actually, no, she didn't say happiness. She just said you should have a life before you become a wife. I think that you should be content before you become someone's spouse. And I think that true contentment comes from purpose, understanding why you are here. Like, what are you supposed to be doing with your life? I think that helps to bring someone true contentment. So that way, when they do get with their spouse, their partner, they feel more fulfilled, and they're not looking for that person to fill that void, that thing that they feel as though is missing. That thing that you feel is missing is your purpose, what you're supposed to be doing. So your spouse is never going to be able to fill that void. They can add to your life, make it better, hopefully not worse, make your life better, things of that nature. But that contentment piece, that's only going to come with you fulfilling the reason why you were put on this earth.
And I will say, piggybacking off of what she just said, there will come times in your life where your spouse does make things worse. I'm gonna be honest, because if someone's going through something, they're not usually in the place to be good for other people. When things are happening to you, when your life is going upside down, and I'm sorry, life, it goes in waves. It's an ebb and flow to life. It's like sometimes you up. I think most of the time you're just sort of in a neutral place, but then sometimes you're down. And
which is natural.
Yeah, sometimes you have a bunch of bad luck, or the enemy is attacking, whatever. I don't care what you believe. We all gonna go through some crap sometime. And during those times, even though there's a lot to be said about being able to control your mood, and things are gonna happen to us where we just ain't gonna be no good. And it don't stop when you get married. So there are gonna be times when your spouse is not lifting you up. There's gonna be times when your spouse is not in the mental space to be, somebody who's pushing you forward. And that space could last for years. You could marry somebody and they be, a certain personality, something happens and all of a sudden they're depressed. And what happens when they don't tell you what happened to them, why they're depressed, what they realized, what they figured out, what they thought of? A lot of us has trauma sitting in the back of our mind, just waiting to be unlocked and cracked out upon our life because we never dealt with it. Things that happen with our family, with our friends, and all of those types of things. Like, me and my wife talk about that type of stuff all the time. And I had a relatively decent childhood. I have two parents there, I have my brother there, but it was so many things that happened that affected the relationships that I have with my family members, even to this day, that we always have to unpack a lot of that stuff, because if I don't, it'll spill over into our relationship. But everybody doesn't always sit there and work through those things and think about them and figure out what happened and why am I acting like this? Why am I moving like that? I've just found out that the way that my son acts, one of particular things that he does is a direct reflection of how I used to be when I was his age. And this is one of the things that I didn't automatically, because a lot of them I catch, I'm like, you got that from me. You got that from me. That's you, babe. That's you. But this one, like today, I literally got it. And I was like, oh crap, he got that from me. Oh, we got to watch out for that, because it's not all good. He could be vulnerable. You got to get him to man up a little bit more. You got to spend more time with dad. We be talking about all our feelings and stuff, son. So there's that side of it. What she said was right. Things like that have to be expounded upon. Finding your purpose, finding out who you are, finding out what you do and don't like, and not following the crowd. Because that was one of the things that I did when I was younger. I was injecting what everybody else wanted from their marriage into mine. And that was one of the things that caused issues between me and my wife, because she was like, but you told me X, Y, and Z. And I was like, yeah, I did. I had to take the L because I wasn't thinking about what I wanted. I was thinking about what everybody was saying that I should want. And that was the problem. So it was a lot, man. Oprah totally did not say that she regrets not being married, but
well, she
said the wife thing. I mean, I don't think there are too many women who, if they decide to stay single, are not going to come into a point where they go, did I make the right decision? Even men. I think most men, there are probably 1% of men who would just be like, oh no, I definitely should have never got married. But I think most men, if they decide to stay single, are going to wonder if they made the right choice. She never said, I regret not getting married. Oh, the battery's about to die. So, all right, well, I guess that's the end of this one, because the battery's about to die, guy.
We'll see you guys next time. Comment below and let us know your thoughts. What do you think about their comments?
Peace. That was a really short episode.
Press the off button.